and welcome to Pro Tour Hollywood. Randy Buehler here with Brian David-Marshall. Little preview tournament center action for you. It's supposed to be a pool party going on right now, but it's raining in Los Angeles. The whole point of coming to California is for the weather, right?
I'm very disappointed. I dressed for a pool party.
I tried to dress for a pool party. We moved the pool party indoors. We got the band set up, got the players enjoying the food, and the brand's on break, so let you know what's going on. Should be a fun Pro Tour.
Yeah, the format for this tournament is standard.
Standard constructed.
The last time we saw constructed at a Pro Tour was at World Championships, and the last time we looked at standard, Dragonstorm was front and center.
It's true.
Doran was also front and center. That was the deck that ended up coming out on top. But since then, standard has been all about fairies.
Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom has been the defining card of the format, I would think, along with Mistbind Click.
Sure.
Along with Spell Stutter Sprite. The deck just works so well together. It's such a synergistic deck, and it's been dominating state champs, city champs, and Magic Online. It's the deck that's on everyone's mind.
So how much of the field is going to be fairies?
Estimates have ranged between 25 and 33%, but a lot of that's going to depend on how the LCQ goes that's taking place across the hall. There are 358 players playing in the last chance qualifier. It's the second largest last chance qualifier in the history of the Pro Tour.
Yeah, 358 is a huge number. Prague, I think, is the only one that was bigger. Sort of Europe, everybody can get there, but it's just a huge number of people playing for those last 4 pro spots right now.
They're going to be playing 10 rounds, and at the end of those 10 rounds, which may take place somewhere around round 3 of the Pro Tour.
Maybe more like 3 a.m.
3 a.m., 4 a.m., sure.
It's 5 a.m.
It
may turn into 9 rounds with 8 spots at some time around 4 in the morning.
Don't make promises.
I'm speculating. I know nothing.
We'll have a better idea. This format was described to me as a backpack format.
Okay.
By someone. Said that what's happening is every single player in this room here eating right now has a copy of fairies in their backpack. They also have the deck they want to play.
Okay.
And what they have to do in the morning is make a decision: am I going to play the deck I want to play, or am I going to play the fairy deck in my backpack? So I mean, numbers could vary wildly. A lot of people also describe the format as fairies versus anti-fairies.
Yeah, the line I heard was pretty interesting. If you got the fairies deck, which is the fairies deck, right? Bitter Blossom, Mistbind Click, all that good stuff. And then there's anti-fairies. But anti-fairies, it's not like it's one deck. It's more like it's a movement. You know, it's a frame of mind. I don't want to play fairies. I want to play something that can beat fairies. Different people have different theories about what that is.Maybe it's mono red. Maybe it's mono red. Get the beat down. You come out charging. You know, there's a bunch of Merfolk decks. You know, you got your green decks, green white. There's a bunch of different stuff going on. Maybe there's combo. Right?
I've also heard anti-fairies described as decks that don't actually beat fairies.
That's true.
We walked around the last chance qualifier, and we looked at the end of round 3 at the top, like 14 or 15 tables, and there were only 3 fairy decks to be found there.
Yeah,
there
I saw more Merfolk.
There was a lot of Merfolk.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Doran. I saw a Swanza Bryn Argol deck. I saw a number of different decks. So
some red, some aggro.
It could be a lot of red, actually. Yeah. A lot of Mog Fanatics, a lot of Tattermunge Maniacs.
Yep.
Format could be very interesting.
It looked fine to me. I mean, you heard, oh my God, fairies, but it's not like it's at historical levels. It doesn't seem like it's affinity where it's 50% of the format. It seems like maybe it's a third. That would be a huge showing. Still, absolutely defining deck of the format, but hey, we'll find out. Are there players that you're looking for? What's the angles coming at from a player point of view?
Well, I think we'd be crazy to ignore Patrick Chapin and Gabriel Nassif as a unit. They worked for this tournament with Paul Cheon, Luis Scott Vargas, Jerry Thompson, like a handful of really great players all worked together.
Yeah, last time Pat and Gabe worked together, they both made top 8 at Worlds, right?
And one of the greatest semifinal matches anyone ever remembers seeing.
That was good times.
In a Pro Tour. So I have to feel like Pat says to me that he's had this format solved since 1962. So I have to feel like he's got something special in the works for this event. What about you? Who are you picking?
I don't know. I mean, Gabe's. It's hard to argue with Gabe in a constructed format. He's just always there. He's always competitive. I don't know. Soft spot of me wants to see you got his V. Mauschwitz actually working on the format. Working with Steve Sadin. I mean, guys in your backyard, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think that could be a very relevant story. There's some good Magic talent there.
That team is Steve Sadin, V. Mauschwitz, John Finkel, Alan Comer, Chris Lockman, Jacob Van Lunen. There's a lot of Pro Tour winners on that team.
Now, how many of those guys are actually playing?
All of them.
All of them. All right.
All of them. And Steve Saden would like to add, one more Pro Tour winner to that team. And I'm sure Alan
Is he the only one
I'm
that's
sure
not?
Alan Comer would like to also.
Is Comer playing this weekend?
Yes, he is.
Awesome. I hadn't seen Alan in town yet. That's good. Good for him. Yeah, no longer works at Wizards of the Coast, so he's eligible for first time in a while, right?
Yeah. I also would like to see Guillermo Fatapa. Curious to see what he brings to a constructed format with so much known information.
Should be a good time. Interesting players. Looks like the band's about ready to come
firing
back.
up.
We will see you guys tomorrow. Tune in for live coverage of Pro Tour Hollywood.